And so I'm actually really grateful, Lisa, that you wrote this second book, because when I read The Wild Land Within, I became more curious about the desert elders. But I have to admit, I felt myself being skeptical that the fullness of their spiritual life
Mhm.
could have been enacted in such like an isolated kind of
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
But the more that I read the Way of the Desert Elders,
Mhm.
really helped to understand how much they existed in community.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I think in the West, when we hear the word monastic, we
Mhm.
think isolated
Mhm.
and, withdrawn. And
Right.
yes, there were elements of spending large periods of time in one's cell, for example,
Right.
looking within and asking the question, what do I need to do in the tilling of my soil? But, like you said, Evagrius had, his Amma that was inviting him into deeper formation constantly, and the elders lived in their area out in the desert, but also spent
Mhm.
time in community, going back into community to serve. And so that was very enlightening for me and comforting,
Mhm.
because I have this very communal view of spirituality.
Yes.
But to answer your question, what I love about the desert elders is that they really model contemplative spirituality in a practical way.
Mhm.
And it's this invitation to constantly ask, not what is wrong with me, but where are the gaps?